Welcome and thank you for taking the time to watch this programme overview. This video is designed to help you understand what Key Stage 3 Plus reading support is, who it's for and how it fits within a secondary school context. This is an orientation video rather than practical training. My aim here is to make the thinking behind the programme clear and transparent so you can make informed decisions about whether it's right for your pupils and your setting. We'll look in more detail at how to teach with the programme in later training videos. Key Stage 3 Plus reading support is designed for pupils in Key Stage 3 and above who, for a range of reasons, are not yet confident independent readers. These may be pupils who can decode words but struggle to access meaning, pupils who lack stamina or confidence when reading, or pupils who find extended reading and writing overwhelming. The programme works well in intervention groups, SEND contexts, small groups, one-to-one support, and in some schools, whole class situations where a cohort needs a structured reading boost. Throughout, the focus is on treating pupils as older learners, using age-appropriate texts without placing unrealistic demands on them. In Key Stage 3, it's very common to see pupils who appear to be coping on the surface but are quietly struggling underneath. Many pupils have gaps in early reading foundations. They may be able to read words aloud, but they don't fully comprehend what they read, or they can't sustain reading independently. At the same time, the reading and writing demands of the secondary curriculum increase rapidly, often before pupils are ready. This combination frequently leads to anxiety, avoidance, and disengagement. Key Stage 3 reading support is designed to address this gap in a calm, structured, and realistic way. These design principles sit at the heart of Key Stage 3 Plus reading support, and importantly, they apply across all Abigail Steele training programmes, including Key Stage 3 Plus Phonics and Rocket Phonics. I'm very passionate about teachers understanding the pedagogy behind the resources they use. You should never have to trust something simply because it sounds impressive or because you've been sold an idea without transparency. When a programme works, it should make logical, rational sense when explained. That's why this programme prioritises clarity over complexity, consistency over variety, separating thinking from writing, reducing cognitive load, and building confidence before independence. These principles drive every design decision you'll see. It's really important to be clear about how Key Stage 3 Plus reading support relates to Key Stage 3 Plus Phonics. These are two distinct programmes that do different jobs, but they are deliberately designed to work together or independently, depending on pupil need and school context. Key Stage 3 Plus Phonics focuses on securing decoding, spelling, and word-level reading knowledge. Key Stage 3 Plus reading support focuses on helping pupils apply reading skills to real texts, developing understanding and rebuilding confidence as readers. Reading support does not replace phonics where phonics is still needed, and phonics alone is often not enough for older pupils. The strength here is in how the programmes complement one another. In practice, schools use these programmes in a range of ways. Some pupils may need to complete Key Stage 3 Plus Phonics Workbook 1 before engaging fully with reading support. Others may be ready to begin reading support alongside phonics work, particularly as they move into later phonics workbooks. If schools are unable to run both programmes simultaneously, they may choose to focus on phonics for a term or two, then switch to reading support, or vice versa. Some pupils may not need phonics intervention at all, and reading support may be the most appropriate route. There is no single correct pathway. Professional judgment is central. Key Stage 3 Plus reading support includes structured pupil reading journals, clear chapter-by-chapter teacher guidance, book-specific training, and vocabulary mapping and planning tools. It's important to be explicit here, the novels themselves are not included. Key Stage 3 Plus reading support provides the structure, guidance, materials, and training that sit around the texts, and schools source the novels separately. This allows flexibility, use of existing stock, and professional choice, while ensuring the reading experience is well supported. Sourcing the novels separately is a deliberate design choice. It allows schools flexibility in purchasing, the opportunity to use existing stock where appropriate, and the freedom to make professional decisions about texts within a supported framework. The programme guides teachers and pupils step by step through each book, removing the need for extensive pre-reading or additional preparation, and making the reading process more manageable and enjoyable for everyone involved. One of the key ways Key Stage 3 Plus reading support reduces workload and increases confidence for teachers is through the vocabulary and phonics mapping provided for each chapter. The Excel spreadsheets analyse the chapters in advance and identify the typical words pupils are likely to encounter. These are organised into 4 clear categories, which you'll explore in more detail in later training. This means teachers are not expected to pre-read entire novels or second-guess potential barriers. The mapping supports subject knowledge, links directly to Key Stage 3 Plus phonics, and significantly reduces preparation and cognitive load, particularly for non-specialists. Teachers are often concerned about choosing the right book for their pupils, and it's important to stress that this is not a rigid reading scheme. Each pack includes a range of texts, offering a loose progression rather than a fixed sequence, with guidance provided to support allocation. Book choice is not purely technical. Reading readiness, emotional maturity, and likely engagement all matter. Where appropriate, pupils can also be involved in the selection process, which can significantly increase motivation and ownership. The programme is deliberately flexible by design. One book may last a few weeks, a half term, or a full term, depending on lesson length, pupil stamina, and school context. Depth and confidence matter more than speed. Chapters are planning units, not timing rules, and revisiting or slowing down is often exactly what pupils need. This flexibility is supported by the low writing demand and clear structure of the materials. Key Stage 3 Plus reading support does not include a standalone screening assessment. Schools are encouraged to use their existing reading assessments to help inform decisions, and the Key Stage 3 Plus phonics assessment may also provide useful information about decoding readiness. However, assessment should always be triangulated with professional judgment, observation over time, and pupils' engagement and response to texts. Choosing the right book and pathway is not about a single score, it's about matching pupils with texts they can access, engage with, and enjoy. Everything within Key Stage 3 Plus reading support has been designed intentionally. Teachers do not need to add extra tasks, increase writing demand, or create additional materials for the programme to work. That said, professional discretion is respected. If you choose to adapt or extend elements to meet the needs of your pupils, that is entirely your decision, not an expectation built into the programme. In the next video, we'll look in detail at how the pupil journal works, its structure, how pupils experience it, and how it builds confidence lesson by lesson without overwhelming them. When you're ready, move on to the next video in the training sequence.